You're live.
Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Leo Gilling, and it's Wednesday, July 21st. And we have a very important information session this evening with several members of the Jamaican community, Jamaican business community. It's an important, very informational segment. We hope that you leave this session with a lot of information, a lot of questions answered. Many years, I have been here for 30 odd years, and there are certain type of transactions that we need done in Jamaica. For example, to get our birth certificate, a copy of the certified copy of our birth certificate, or to renew our National Housing Trust membership, or to pay into the fund, or to renew our passport. This is what this is about this evening. And we have several members from the various sectors. There is RGD, there's the PICA, and then also the NHT, the National Housing Trust Rate. And we have a very important business, Diaspora Integrated Services, that bring it all together for you. So you can stay at home and ask Diaspora Integrated Services to do all this for you. We have a gentleman, Mr. Percival. Percival, what's your last name again? Murdit?
That's heard it.
Okay, thank you so much. He's with the Diaspora Integrated Services, and let me tell you, they're doing a wonderful job. You will love what they have to do. Tonight, we're going to have several segments. First, we're going to have each of these businesses, these government agencies, make a presentation to you. And then we'll take some questions at the end of the presentation, of all three presentations. We'll also have Diaspora Integrated Service come in and make their own presentation, show you how they can do this for you, making your life in the diaspora easier. So we've been trying to have this for a long time. It's a long time coming. We want to welcome everyone wherever you are, every Jamaican right across the world. Thank you for joining. And please just ask the questions in the chat room. We are streaming on JDTAN TV on YouTube. We're also streaming on Jamaicans.com on Facebook. We're also streaming on the Mighty Enforcers, the website, and also on Leo Gilling's LinkedIn page. So we have 4 different streaming services tonight. So you can't say, boy, me don't know which part it there, because we're all over. Want to welcome this evening to Mr. Winter from the PICA to make the first presentation. Mr. Winter.
Thank you, Leo. Good evening, everyone. My pleasure to be here. This evening, I'll be making a short presentation. So if you could allow me to share a screen.
Of course.
The presentation. Has everyone seen the presentation?
Yes, we are.
All right. So it's my pleasure this evening to speak on behalf of the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency. I'm Andrew Winter, the Chief Executive Officer, and we know how important a Jamaican passport is to the persons in the diaspora. Tonight's presentation will just quickly share with you some of the things the agency is doing and how we are approaching our different approach that we're now taking as it relates to the diaspora. Just a quick overview for some of you who may have left Jamaica so long ago. You're not aware of what PICA is all about. Well, PICA is an executive agency that was established in 2007. We operate under the umbrella of the Ministry of National Security, and we're responsible for securing the island's borders, or issuing of Jamaican passports, immigration and citizenship, ensuring the Jamaican citizens have travel documents of the highest integrity and meets all international standards. So your passport that Jamaica issues is a very high standard, and it meets the International Civil Aviation Organization standards as it relates to passports and travel documents. We offer a suite of services: passports, emergency travel documents, travel permits, and seaman certificates in the area of immigration, with the visas, entry permits, extension of stay, permanent residence, temporary residence. We facilitate the persons becoming citizens of Jamaica, whether by descent, marriage, naturalization, registration if you're a Commonwealth citizen. And believe it or not, those Jamaicans who have given up their or renounced their Jamaican citizenship, we facilitate the restoration of that citizenship. And in case you're not sure that you are really a Jamaican, or have enough evidence to show that we can facilitate you being a citizen of Jamaica, we have a category called Citizenship in Doubt. We also have our own investigation and surveillance unit, which helps to maintain the integrity of our operation and to ensure that only those fit and proper persons who are deserving of our various products and services get them. So what do we offer specifically to the diaspora? You can get your new passport. We renew the passport, and if you lost it, it will be replaced. We offer unconditional landing, and unconditional landing is a facility where a Jamaican who might have had to renounce their Jamaican citizenship, or they want to have, they can't want to have two passports. Being a Jamaican, you get unconditional landing. You're married. Somebody needs to mute their mic. Jamaicans who might be married to foreigners and who want them to come back home to Jamaica, but those persons may not want to give up their citizenship, we offer them permanent residence. Believe it or not, there are some nationalities which require a visa to enter Jamaica. So it's not just that Jamaicans need visas to enter other countries, but some nationalities do require visas to enter Jamaica. Citizenship by descent: if your children are born overseas and your grandchildren, they can become citizens by descent. And if you're married, your spouse can become a Jamaican by marriage. So what are some of the things that we have done to improve our facilities? For example, customers can now track their passport application online once they have submitted their passports. If you want to renew your passport and it is a machine readable passport that has been issued in the last 15 years, from the burgundy look red or red looking passport, you can know if there are no significant changes or any changes to your passport, actually renew your adult passport online. This facility is not available to children. Or if you are married, or if you're deed poll, or you have done some significant change, then you can use this facility. We have put in place a contact center to provide technical support and respond to queries, whether they come in by phone or email. And we do carry out what we call overseas outreach programs, where we go to various cities in the States or the UK or Canada. And there we offer our services and facilitate persons applying for their passport, citizenship, or any other benefit. Okay. Customers can now send their applications for a passport or citizenship by descent directly to PICA by our partner, DHL Courier Service. How the courier service works: you complete your application form, pay by the nearest DHL application office. It will be delivered directly to PICA. We have a partnership with them. You make a separate payment to DHL for the return of your passport or citizenship certificate. Include the return receipt waybill in your application package. When passport or your certificate is complete, PICA will deliver it directly to your address provided. Passports will be processed and shipped within 20 working days from receiving your documents, and providing that there are no issues or concerns, and your citizenship by descent certificates will be processed within 15 working days from receiving your documents from DHL. So there are, as you can see from this slide, there are a number of options which are available to you. And the adult passport, again, this facility for the renewal online is for the adults only. Otherwise, you'd have to go through one of our missions or on our consuls that are located overseas. The objective is that we want to address a number of issues that have been affecting the diaspora as it relates to PICA. We know in the past we have had poor communication, disconnection with the diaspora community, limited information being available to you, and certainly these programs which are now being promoted are certainly helping to bridge that gap. So long turnaround times, many persons have applied for their passports and other benefits from the agency, and it takes a very long time. And these are issues which are now being addressed. So we're looking at convenient application facilities. We want to put a more direct contact with PICA between you and us and the diaspora. So your questions, your queries, your concerns are answered quickly. We're going to increase our diaspora outreach program and increase our service offerings to the diaspora in the years to come. So how to reach PICA? You can see there for your inquiries, info@PICA. We'll provide response within 3 working days. All right. For complaints, tell us first at pica.gov. We acknowledge within 3 working days your complaint. And if you have any technical support, our contact center, again, will be there to facilitate your queries or concerns. So today it was really my pleasure to share this information with you. I personally want to take this time to thank the diaspora for being so patient. But over the last 5 years, the agency has made significant progress in how it improves its service. We want to create an experience for all our customers so that they'll enjoy and appreciate the benefits that the agency has to offer. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Leo, you're on mute.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Okay, thank you so much. We're gonna ask all the questions, just hold the questions until we have the 3 presentations. For other persons who are going to make presentation, could you put your slide in the slideshow format so that we can make sure that everyone can see it when they're out there in YouTube or on the other platforms? We appreciate that. I could see yours, Mr. Winter. Thank you so much for that. It was really great information. So let's go to Miss Natalie Fowler from the National Housing Trust. We can't hear you. I'm so sorry. We're not hearing you at all. I'm gonna, is Mr. Desmond Davis there? I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna help you, Miss Fowler. We can't hear you. Did you accept the audio? You did? All right, so in the meantime, I'm gonna ask Kimon to call you. If you just type your telephone number in the chat, Kimon is gonna call you by WhatsApp, and she can help you go through that. In the meantime, I'm gonna ask Mr. Desmond Davis from the RGD. Mr. Davis, please, the floor is yours. If you don't mind, put your slide in slideshow mode so that we can all see it. All right?
Oh, sorry. Good evening, all. It's Miss Nicole White who is going to be doing that presentation.
Okay.
All right. I am support.
Okay. All right. can we have Miss Nicole White on camera, please? In the meantime, Natalie, Miss Kimon Gooden is going to call you if you leave your number there for us or in the chat. Nicole? All right. In the meantime, I have Mrs. Nicole White is not on yet. Mr. Winter, let me ask a quick question. How far down of a generation we can go in the diaspora to consider a person a Jamaican? First, second, third, fourth, fifth generation, where? Where does it stop?
You choose to stop at the fifth, but if you want to go further.
Oh, God.
But as long as we are able to establish the lineage, so if your great-great-great-grandfather landed in New York in 1895, and you're able to have his birth certificate to show that he was born in Jamaica, and he went to New York in 1895, and all of his children and their birth certificates, and were able to establish lineage from him directly to the current time, then certainly we will be able to issue a citizenship by descent.
Okay. All right. And the next question. There are a lot of persons out here in the diaspora who still has a blue passport. And I know that has changed a long time ago. But I just spoke with someone who still has a blue passport and still needs a passport, or the passport to, what's the process there?
Well, once you still have the old blue book, that is a handwritten book. So whether the old blue hardcover or the old blue soft cover one, where the pictures were pasted, we have since migrated long ago to those, from those. Yeah. So as long as they bring in their birth certificate, a valid national identification of the country that they are, that their driver's license, or even the passport of the country that they have now adopted, submitted to the nearest mission or to the honor council in the area, and complete the appropriate application form with 2 passport size photos and even a copy of that old passport. They can get their new Jamaican passport. When we go on our outreach programs, like when I went to Fort Lauderdale in 2020, we did see quite a bit of those old blue books, and all those persons who apply currently, if they aren't, unless there are issues, all have their new Jamaican passport, machine-readable modern passports.
All right, and then I have a lady recently who said to me, I applied for my citizenship. The office told me that it takes 90 days to get my citizenship. How true is that? And because I said to her, I'm not so sure about that. My son took him.
All right. So the thing about it, if it's citizenship by marriage, it does take some time because there's a whole process, a more detailed process around that. If she's speaking about our citizenship by descent, once all the documents are in order, there are no errors, misinformation, then certainly within, I'd say 25 working days, she should receive back her citizenship certificate. Some of the challenge we do have is, persons, and Desmond Davis will back me up on this, when they leave Jamaica with their birth certificate and them named Desmond Davis or Andrew Winter, but when you reach New York or London or Toronto, you decide that because you're in this country now, you should name Desmond Leo Davis, right? Or I should name Andrew Percival Winter, right? And sometimes we now have to establish that the Desmond Leo Davis, who is now the same person, right? So these are the issues, because Desmond Davis, when he went up there, has 3 children. He wants them to become Jamaicans. But the birth certificate that these children have has Desmond Leo Davis. Now, who left Jamaica was Desmond Davis.
Right.
And when we find him Jamaican passport, is Desmond Davis. Right? But we now have to find the evidence of this adoption of this new identity of the Leo, or we have to get some declaration to show that Desmond Davis is the same as Desmond Leo Davis that is now living in New York, Toronto, London, wherever he may be.
Yeah, two more questions. Dual citizenship. A lot of questions came into me this week about dual citizenship. What is dual citizenship, and does the, because I live in America, I am in fact an American citizen. In Jamaica, I am also a citizen, right?
That's correct. Now, some countries do have what is called dual citizenship, in that you can hold the citizenship of both your adopted country and your country of birth. So, like you, Leo, you're an American, but you're also a Jamaican. So you're allowed to carry your two citizenship. In some European countries, they don't allow that. And some even countries in the Middle East, you're either, to become a citizen of that country, you have to renounce your citizenship of your country of birth. America, Canada, UK, couple other countries in the Commonwealth do facilitate dual citizenship. So dual citizenship is just the ability to have two nationalities. So you have the nationality of the US, because you have been naturalized, and you have the nationality of Jamaica. However, sometimes based on the kind of job you have, or you might choose, if you choose, for example, Leo, to run for mayor of New York or whatever city you're living in, or to become a senator in the US Senate, you might have to renounce your Jamaican citizenship, because only an American is entitled to hold a political office. So those are some of the nuances that you have to understand. But Jamaica, we do facilitate dual citizenship, so you can have, and we do have it, persons come from India, Algeria, all over the world, Cuba, and they are allowed to have both their citizenship of the country of their birth, as well as their Jamaican citizenship, having become a citizen by naturalization or registration in Jamaica.
All right, so one more question now, because we have a lot of persons who have two birthdays, and persons who have, like, for example, me, I went through basic school, primary school, high school, college with an S on my last name, and only when I decided to come to the United States, I realized that my birth certificate did not have an S on it. And how do you merge this? How do you sync this kind of information?
I defer those questions to my fellow agent, Desmond Davis, and his capable person, Nicole White, who will address those points that relate to your birth certificate. Because you're right, one of the things we're familiar with in Jamaica is that, for example, somebody will know somebody as Sharon. She's in a community as Sharon, right? Everybody in the whole place know her as Sharon. But when you finally get our birth certificate, your name Audrey. We have a thing named pet names. People assume the pet name is the real name. So you go to the community and ask for Audrey, nobody know, but it's a Sharon. Oh yes, man, she lived down there. So, and some of these little nuances are pronunciations. When you say Gillins, but it's Gillin, and it should stop. But we add the S on it because we tend to pronounce S's on our words.
Everything, right?
We emphasize our H's.
Thank you so much for that. All right, stay with us because I may have some questions. Those questions were just from me, and we haven't even heard the questions from the audience yet. So I'm going to go to Nicole White from the RGD. As Desmond said, boy, no, me that's not Virgin. Nicole take care of them. So here is Nicole from the RGD.
Hi, good evening, everybody. It's our pleasure from the Registrar General's Department to be participating in this online meeting. And as was said earlier, we have Mr. Davis online, and we want to send the CEO, Mr. Charlton McFarlane, he sent his regards as well. So you want me to just jump right into our presentation?
Jump right in. Yes.
Okay, let me share screen. Ooh. Oh, sorry. Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah, could you put it in slideshow?
Yeah,
yeah.
All right, let me stop share and fix that. Are you seeing my screen now?
It's not, yes, it's up now. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So the overview, in the overview of the RGD, we are the agency mandated by the government with responsible for registration of all births, deaths, marriages, adoptions, stillbirths that occur in Jamaica and its waters. We are also responsible for supporting demographic planning by the government. So we provide timely statistics and analysis to statin, for example. Right. We are also responsible for the safekeeping of all records, including acts. So persons can lodge their wills with us. Since 2001, we started printing on security paper. Persons who left Jamaica, like in the 70s and 80s, they might have a birth certificate on a black and white paper. We have moved past that and we print on security paper, which has some security features embedded in the paper. And this helps us to ensure that our certificates can be verified as being authentic and that persons don't try to tamper with them. So as I said, this was in 2001 that we started printing on these, but you might have persons who still have the black and white certificates, and we encourage those persons to actually come in and change out to the computer generated certificates. We are the only Type C executive agency in the island. So what that means is that we are supposed to be 100% self-funded. So we pay all our bills from the money that we collect from certificates and all the services that we offer. We have been getting some help with funding in recent times, but for the most part, we are a Type C. We're still regarded as a Type C agency. We implemented bedside registration in 2007. And so that has helped us to increase the registration of births island-wide. So what that means is we go to the bedside of, and register the births in the institution, birthing institution. So it's really only births that take place at home births, that persons would have to go to a local district registrar or to the nearest RGD office to effect that registration. Our vision statement is every life event registered and every record is safe. And our mission statement is we try to ensure we have accurate data and a secure repository of the records that we have in our possession. As I said before, so we register births, deaths, marriages, adoptions, stillbirths. And in addition to that, we also offer a service called No Impediment certificates, and that is we certify that an individual is free to legally get married. So we find that a lot of persons, when they're filing for people to come up, you know, the embassy usually would like this no impediment certificate to prove that person is actually free to marry, and so they can marry and migrate, and they won't be committing bigamy. So we offer that service. We also offer a service called genealogical research. Our records go back to the 1600s when we were classified as chattel. And so persons can actually do a genealogical research and trace their family origin, trace their roots. And we are able to produce this report where it can show you the cause of death. What is it that what the people in your family tend to die from? So is it that your family, the person's mainly die from hypertension or diabetes? So you can use that to, you know, use that to basically monitor your health and how you know, what you eat, exercise, that kind of thing, because you see what it is your family tends to die from. So we offer that genealogical research service, and we can also plot a family tree from what we find, from our findings. We can plot a family tree. So this is a product that the diaspora tends to be very interested in, and I would encourage you to. You can actually apply for it online on our website and pay for it online. And I would encourage you to take advantage of that. Then we offer registry wedding services, so persons can actually come to any one of our 10 offices island-wide and get married. And so that's another service that we offer. We also offer the recording of depot, conveyances, powers of attorney, additional services where record updating is concerned. We offer additional father's particulars for persons who are, they are the father of the child, but they are not married to the mother. And so their particular was not automatically added to the record at birth. They can actually apply for their name and particulars to be added to the record. We offer a service called additional father's particulars. It's actually now on our website, so you can actually apply online, pay for it online. We also, I don't know why this happens every time when I try. We also offer re-registration, and that is for persons who they were not married at the time of the birth of the child, but they subsequently got married to each other. You can actually do a process called re-registration, and it would reflect on the record that, you know, the parents are married. We offer correction of error, which is another service that, like Mr. Gilling, you were saying that. You were saying that you always, you know, going to school, you thought your name had an S on it, and then you realize that it really doesn't. So you might get with, you know, different people have errors. So it might be spelling errors, it might be an age error, it might be the year error. So that's an error that you can actually correct, and that now can be done online as well. You can pay and apply online. We have late entry of, yes, late entry of name is another service that you can access online. So for some persons, if they were born out of wedlock prior to, I think, 1970 something.
74.
57.
77?
57.
1957, if you're born out of wedlock prior to 1957, you know, they had this thing called bastard. You're regarded as a bastard child. So you would not have been able to get your father's name on your record if you're born out of wedlock. So you have persons who are born without a full name, or persons who are just registered with their first name, their Christian name, no surname. So those persons, we encourage them to come in, and because we no longer produce birth certificates without a name or with only a Christian name. So you would have to come in and go through the process, or you can do it online as well, of adding the surname to the record. That's called a late entry of name. We also have a service that we offer called late registration, and that's for persons who, for one reason or another, they just were not registered. These tend to be home births, as well as persons who back in the days would have left the hospital without paying the hospital fee. And so they would not have registered the child. They just had the child and left the hospital without registering the child. So those persons would end up not being registered, and they never came into our office or to our local district registrar to register the child. So you do have persons who we have to do late registrations for, and it also applies to death. So if a death occurred and a year has passed and it's not registered, you'd have to do a late registration for that death, and the same thing for a birth. So as I said, we currently offer these services online, the addition of father's particulars, correction of error, late entry of name, in addition to the regular birth, death, and marriage certificate that you can apply for, and also the genealogical research. You can access this on our website, which is rgd.gov.jm. It's showing end of slideshow. The presentation is actually at the end, so I'll just speak to the other elements. I don't know why it is not loading the other slides. I just want to remind persons of the purpose of a birth certificate, and it is really legal proof of identity, which has far-reaching benefits for employment, education, social inclusion, safety benefits, for example, pension, and our social benefit that we have here in Jamaica called PATH. It tells us who we are, where and when we were born, and to whom we were born. And it's required to access health and life insurance. It's required for school enrollment. It allows us to receive a driver's license, passport, and we need it to, if we plan to get married, you have to have your birth certificate to provide that before you are able to say I do. Right. So, these are the benefits of, ensuring that you have a birth certificate. If persons want to get in touch with the RGD, you can call us at 876-619-1260. Email us at information@rgd.gov.jm. On our website, which is rgd.gov.jm, we have a web chat. So between the hours of 8:30 to 5, you can always go on our website and you can chat with a rep. This is a live conversation. So any queries, questions, you can speak to a rep live and direct. You can contact us via our social media pages. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our Instagram and Twitter is rgd_Jamaica, and our Facebook is rgdjamaica.com. And as I say, you can get us on the web chat. So, Mr. Gillins, I know you had some questions.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Quite informative. I didn't know that I could elope and go to your office and get my marriage done at all.
Yes. We do offer that service, and it's only 15,000 Jamaican dollars, and you actually get 2 certified copies of your marriage certificate within 3 to 4 working days after the ceremony.
Okay,
so it's pretty reasonable.
Pretty cheap, actually. I don't need to have any fandangles and all I do is bells and whistles in the wedding. I can just come down and get my certificate and I'm ready to go.
Yes.
Wow. That's nice to know. That's because whenever I decide to get married again, that's the way I'm gonna go.
Okay. Okay, great.
All right. So someone here said, can I hold that's a passport? Can I get a TRN without visiting Jamaica? That's not your question, RGD, right?
No.
No, that would be TAJ, tax admin.
Tax admin, okay. Elaine Murray, how many No, that's NHT again. Okay, so no, the question that I have for you was, Kimon, if there's any other question, please share them for us. The only question that I have, my mom was, she said that she was born on the 22nd, but the lady who took her down, took her name down to the registrar as her aunt. And my grandmother must have said, she turned back and said, oh, what did you say again? And she said, 22nd. Well, she only heard the second. And so my mom now is stuck with a birthday of the second, and she's born on March 2nd, but she celebrates on the 22nd. Right? So can that change? Can we change that?
Mr. Davis?
Okay. So every error that is going to be corrected by the RGB must be supported. So we correct. It must be a fact and a substance. So if you can't do it, so most of those things, if you were born in a birthing institution, then the institution would have had record. That way. In many instances, in her case, but I guess probably her mother probably not even alive anymore. So she would have to keep her document as is when she preferred to any agency she used what is on it. But when you meet with her and you are celebrating, you can celebrate on the 22nd. Fact and substance.
She actually, no, she died too. I just had to bring that out. So she had a little pink card. It's about 4x4. And
right.
It's like a Christian card that actually said the second. It said the 22nd. It's not a birth certificate, but it was a little card that it has some pink on it. I don't know if you know that card.
Yeah, man. But that no, she would have gotten it from the church.
Oh. I see.
So that wouldn't have, if it was what we refer to as the C-reg from the RGD, it could have been considered, because when a person is registered, you are given, as it were, a receipt that shows that this is a registration. But then I wouldn't think that came from the RGD, because if somebody said the second or the 22nd and she went and did the 22nd, the registrar at the time would not have given one that said otherwise.
I got you. Thank you so much.
You celebrate with her at the date when she tells you, but when you write your official document, ensure that you are consistent.
Okay, all right, great. That's good information, because she was kind of confused there. But in all honesty, she celebrates both birthdays, right? So I have to call her twice in one month. So, all right. So let's see if we have any more questions out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Best way to go here is to figure there. All right.
I think I want to emphasize something. Right. You see that whole idea of adding father's particulars? It's very important. Yeah. You know, some persons who would have been in the diaspora would have had, some fathers, let me say, would have had children who would not have had their particulars on the birth certificate, and they would want to sponsor that child. So apart from the fact that then the country that they would have been taking the child to would have wanted that DNA to be done, but they would also want to see the father's particulars entered on the birth certificate. And I think that that is very, very important for this particular discussion. Father's particulars. Because you know, every birth certificate would have carried the mother's information already.
Yes.
But every birth certificate does not carry the father's particulars. I might say, even though I say every birth certificate would carry the mother's particulars, remember also that there are some children who were abandoned, and their birth certificate will have quite a number of unknowns written on it. You know, and I guess probably outside of that person being adopted by a foreign national or somebody in Jamaica who would have migrated. So they would have had and I don't think that Ms. White had mentioned that too, where we also record adoptions that come through the court.
Excellent.
From the court.
Excellent. Yeah, the question in relation to father, adding the father though, what kind of documentation would you need? Because if the father wasn't there and he would not have been on the original birth certificate, what do you need? Are you going to have to do a DNA to say, yes, this is my child?
No, not that. No. What happened is that the mother will declare that this person is the father, and the father
Okay.
will acknowledge that he
Okay.
is the father. So it's a declaration that is used in that case. And I think probably this is the reason why we end up in trouble, where in the long run, many of the children does not belong to the father. But that's how the law stipulates that we operate, where this particular situation is concerned. And that is the reason why the foreign government now would want to do a DNA to ensure that this child really belongs to this father.
All right, excellent answers. Before I go to you, Natalie, I have some passport questions, so let me just get to them real quickly because I know Andrew is still there. Andrew, what are the requirements to obtain a Jamaican passport for my minor child who is a U.S. citizen? Both parents are Jamaicans. And is there an expedited process or service that's offered?
Well, the thing is, for the child to get their Jamaican citizenship, first they have to complete the process of citizenship by descent. Both parents are being Jamaican. Either parents can apply for the child citizenship. Even though it's a minor, it doesn't make a difference. So once they submit all, they've completed the citizenship by descent form, submit their birth certificate and the child's birth certificate with the based on what you have heard from Desmond and Nicole, with the right names and the right date of birth, with the correct spelling. Then, and the 2 passport size photos, and pay the requisite fee. They submit that document to PICA, or if they're in like New York or Miami or Toronto, to the consulates. Once they have submitted that information and that document is sent down, then the child will get citizenship by descent. With that citizenship certificate, they can now apply for the child's Jamaican passport.
Excellent. You brought up a very critical point, and I have to get to it because I had this issue, right? So some years ago, when I was renewing my Jamaican passport, I had to fill out the form properly, everything good, call the embassy, them tell me what kind of passport photo we need, what kind of back and all of that stuff. So I did everything right. And I didn't submit it to the embassy or to the consul general. I took it to Jamaica. And when I got there, they said, these are not the right photos at all. It's not the right, even though I got the schematics, all the credentials relating to what the photo should be and stuff. They did not accept it. I have to go down the street and get new pictures and add it. Is there any special factors that we need to consider when we send you 2 photographs? Is there any particular type of photograph that needed?
What you have to tell them is that you want a passport for a Jamaican photo, a picture for a Jamaican passport. You see, the US, the UK, and some other countries, they have standards too, but there is a particular thing that we have to, especially the fact that we do what is called in-book printing. So if the photos are not suitable, then the pictures will not come out and you'll not be properly identified in your passport. So when you go to the immigration officers overseas, they won't be sure if it is you. On our website, we do provide all the specifications. So the persons can go on the website and look for the photo specification. And in fact, there's a chart with a sample of photos, which you can go through and to advise us what is the best photo to take. So we do provide the information. I encourage everybody to go on our website, Passport, and there's a section that speaks to the photo and the photo issues. And also there's people go to the Walmart photo booth or the CVS pharmacy and take pictures there. Many times those are rejected because they are not proper. Like a person will take have on a white t-shirt and take the photo with a white background, right? And those are the things that would create issues, because when we put that picture in the book, then it becomes distorted You know, there are things like shadows and various things, them cut off part of them ears because they want to try to look younger. And
Andrew. All right. don't throw a word for me now, okay? All right, go ahead.
but those are some of the things that go on our
Okay.
website as a wealth of information about photos. And
Mm-hmm.
they can just follow those guidelines and they shouldn't have any problems.
So processing that document, once I submit it and the photo is incorrect, you send back the entire package to us, right?
Usually, what we usually request nowadays, we just ask you to send new photos.
Just send new photos.
And one other thing from you about machine readable passport, let me emphasize machine readable passport, not one of the handwritten passport. You can apply to renew your passport as an adult online. And the good thing with that online for application process, it has a photo tool, which would help you to know whether or not you're submitting the right photo.
Okay, great. That's nice. Thank you so much for that. That's really good. And someone else asked, so can I hold both Jamaican and American passport? That's absolutely yes. So when I go down to Jamaica, I present I don't know if this is illegal now, so help me. When I go to Jamaica, I present my Jamaican passport and I'm treated like a Jamaican. When I come back in the United States, I use my United States passport. Is that okay, sir?
Nothing wrong with that.
All right, yes, good. Thank you very much. All right, and what is the cost to renew a passport?
Well, in the US, I don't have all the rates, but I think in the US it's $80 US. I think it's something like, I don't remember what the rates, but they're like, it's $80 US, I think it's £100. And I'm not sure what the Canadian is, but
Okay.
we have the equivalent. It's on our website as well. So
All right.
we're not having that information for you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. 2 years ago, I was at a conference, maybe it may have been 4 years ago, and I went to a booth at the NHT booth, and they gave me some really interesting facts, and I'm happy to have them on here right now because these types of information is important to diaspora to know that we can still be members of the NHT, you know, contributing to the program and all of that good stuff. And if we're not before, we can become new members and all that stuff. So I'm going to just allow Natalie Fowler. Did I say that right? Natalie Fowler. If you would just unmute your phone, your mic, and start speaking. The floor is all yours. Convince these people for us.
Thank you, Leo. We might have met those 4 years ago.
Okay, so you may one of those
Right.
just use one of those devices.
Okay, so I've done so, but I'm still hearing an echo.
Still hearing an echo. Move it away from the laptop.
Hearing me now?
There you go.
Better, it's better. All right.
So I met you, right?
We might have, Leo.
Yeah, all right.
So even if the connection wasn't so solid then, it certainly is now because your reputation precedes you. Can I tell you?
Thank you so much. Just move that just a little bit further away from the phone, further away from the laptop that you have. And then you can speak and we can hear you quite clearly.
Right. Hearing me now? Because I want everybody to get the message, you know.
Yeah, man, but still I hear you 3 times and 2 times. How do I do this?
Well, maybe the audio on the laptop is working now. Try unmuting the phone and then unmuting the laptop and see if you can hear it.
Try mute the phone and use the laptop. No, I'm not hearing you.
No, it's not working, yeah.
It's not working. All right. Turn down the volume on the laptop all the way down.
All right. Hear me now?
Yes.
Tell me it better now.
It sounded a little bit better. Go ahead.
All right. Wonderful. Great. Okay, so let me share my screen. It has been a very dramatic landing, but I'm glad I've made it because nothing could make me miss this event.
Excellent.
All
Excellent.
right.
Excellent.
Okay, so an appropriate title here in Jamaica, home awaits you. And I know that there isn't anything I need to do to convince my fellow Jamaicans in the diaspora of that, because when you are here in Jamaica, you feel like nowhere else on earth. So
Yes.
I want to move very, very quickly into this presentation. And with 10 minutes to go, I feel like I'm on the Olympic stage along with my here in Tokyo. So here goes. The National Housing Trust. The National Housing Trust, I have to start with this kind of introduction because the NHT is an institution that is over 40 years old. And it was founded on the basis or with the purpose of improving the housing stock in Jamaica, which at the time, think back 40 years ago, Jamaica had a housing crisis and the National Housing Trust was established, a visionary idea to answer that big problem that was then. And since then, NHT has delivered thousands of houses, bringing housing, bringing the comfort of homes to thousands of Jamaicans. When I do like a rough estimate, I would say maybe nearly 700,000 Jamaicans are in good quality, stable homes because of the National Housing Trust. And the NHT is an institution that continues to do what it was set out to do. We have a vision, and I want to share that with you. It tells you a little bit about what the National Housing Trust is. And I know Leo went into your contributing to the NHT, but I wanted to start with why you do that. And the vision gives you a little snippet as to why NHT, housing institution, will be ranked among the leading housing finance institutions in the world, renowned for customer service and contribution to national development. And to achieve that vision, we do have a mission, improving the quality of life of Jamaicans by facilitating home ownership and community development, particularly among low-income earners. So how we are doing that? Yes, we add to and improve the existing supply of housing in Jamaica. We enhance the usefulness of the funds. Yes, whatever you contribute to NHT, you and as a voluntary contributor or somebody in the diaspora contribute to the NHT, or or employers and employees, whatever it is that you contribute to the NHT ensures that the funds are being used to promote greater efficiency in the housing sector. And we offer benefits to each individual contributor by providing financial assistance to contributors who wish to buy, build, or improve their homes. And so as individual benefits to being a contributor to the NHT, here are some of them. Housing financing at interest rates that are, I would consider, the lowest in Jamaica and perhaps even in the world. Interest rates starting at 0. That means you pay nothing, and the maximum being 4%. That's a big benefit because then your payback will be that much lower when you compare it to other financial institutions out there. And the NHT, because of what it does, it caps the amount of money that it lends to each contributor at a maximum of $6.5 million if you're purchasing house on the open market. And if you're purchasing land on the open market, a maximum of $2.5 million. And if you and one other person who is a qualified contributor join together, you can get up to $30 million together to buy a house on the open market, up to $5 million together if you're interested in purchasing land. And there is something that I'd love sharing with my fellow Jamaicans in the diaspora. Going to the next slide. And it's about our upcoming schemes. We have a slate of schemes that are coming up, and I want you to, if it is that you're not yet contributing to NHT, or you live overseas and you have relatives in Jamaica, I would love for you to share with those persons that the NHT has some schemes coming up. We have schemes in right across the island. So the names of these are Industry Cove Manor, that is in Hanover. There is Perth, just outside of Mandeville, and that's a salubrious development. Lots of 1-bedrooms and 2-bedrooms on the hills, right topside Mandeville. And there's Ruthven Towers, that is a modern 7-story complex in Kingston, just off Trafalgar Road near New Kingston, and it's a beautiful development. And you can also share that with people that you know in Jamaica, because those are coming up for sale. Estuary Phase 2, that development is just outside of Montego Bay, St. James, and that also is beautiful, gives you a great view of the Caribbean Sea, and it's right there. You get some really nice sea views because the development is basically perched on a hill. There's Silver Sun Estate in St. Catherine, there's Hummingbird Meadows in Clarendon, and also in Clarendon, Moneymusk Country Estate. Beautiful development, sturdy construction for facilitating the development of stable families. Now, can I tell you, I thought I was really coming on to the next slide, which really this I also like to share with my friends in the diaspora. And this concept, cluster housing, it allows you to come together with 3 up to 18 other NHT contributors to buy land that you see in Jamaica, and that land, it can be big enough so that you can subdivide it into at least 3 lots and the maximum of 9 lots. And yes, you can use your $2.5 million loan that you can get to buy land on the open market to buy this large piece of lot. You get funds too. You can get funds to do the subdivision activities that you would need to undertake, and the rest of the money that you can get, up to $6.5 million, you can use to start construction. So imagine a community of your own making, gated, security, swimming pool, anything you want, imagine it. Cluster housing could be for you. So how is it that you access those benefits? You become an NHT contributor. There are 2 ways to become a contributor. Through the tax administration, Jamaica, tax office. Yes. So as a voluntary contributor, you get to contribute directly to the NHT, and you are considered a voluntary contributor if you are living overseas and you are a citizen or a permanent resident in that country. If it is that you are living in another country, and say you're working maybe on a work permit, that is, you're not a citizen, don't have permanent residency in another country, you can still contribute to the NHT, but you do so through the tax office, tax administration, Jamaica. And NHT is there to help you with contributing in either way. So registration as a voluntary contributor, it's easy. There are some documents that you will need to complete, and these are available on NHT's website. NHT's website, www.nhd.gov.jm. And if I'm going too fast or you need me to help you with the process, you will see my email. As a matter of fact, my email address is on the screen now, as well as my good colleague, Kamisha Samuel Smith. You can always email right now if you wish, and we will send the documents to you to register as a voluntary contributor. So that's the voluntary contributors application form, an indemnity form, customer information file form. They're very easy. I can even help you with it's pretty easy. But if you have any problems with it, call me, we'll let you know. Send the documents to us, and there are some other proof documents that you would need to submit. You send them in the email to either myself or both of us, Natalie Fowler or Kamisha Samuel Smith, and we will facilitate your registration. The proof documents, the other documents that are required, your TRN card, your NIS card, your valid ID. We need proof of your overseas residency or citizenship, and your proof of a documents, you would have them copied, signed, stamped, and dated either by notary public or Jamaican consular officer. You put them in an envelope. You can send them direct. Either you can send them by post, or you can have those certified copies scanned and emailed to me, and we'll be very, very happy to assist you with the rest of the process. With registering to contribute through Tax Office Jamaica, email myself, email Kamisha, or WhatsApp us. There are our numbers, and we will happily assist you with getting things started, because those benefits that I mentioned earlier, we want you to be able to partake in them. Your NHT contributions are some important and good facts. NHT is not a tax collecting institution. Your contributions, not a tax. Your contributions are therefore refundable. So each year that you contribute to NHT, those contributions are held in trust for 7 years. They become refundable to you in the 8th year. So because of that, me as a contributor, my contributions that I made in 2013, when January 2021 came, I went on NHT's website and I made an application for my refunds, and I got all my money back plus interest, because your NHT contributions, there is interest added. So when the time comes for you to be refunded, you get it back with interest. So NHT contributions is a form of savings. And the thing is, even when you do collect your refund, you can still access the loan benefits. Paying your contributions as a voluntary contributor, there are certain requirements. So when you register as a contributor, say you register this month in July, your July's payment is due the 14th of August. When August comes, your August payment is due the 14th of September. So you do have a grace period, but don't hold on to the grace period. Just if it's July, pay in July, and so on. We require 3% of your declared income. So whatever it is that you declare as your monthly, weekly, or annual income, calculate 3% of that as the NHT contributions. You can download the NHT mobile app using iOS or Google Play, and you can make your payments there, or you can sign up with NHT online via the NHT website and you can pay using a credit card, or you can set up a standing order arrangement with your bank or some other financial institution. So say you're contributing as a citizen in another country or permanent resident, or you're working on a work permit, and there are other qualifying requirements when you're ready to access the benefits. So as a voluntary contributor, you must contribute to NHT for at least 2 years, 104 weeks. If you, being a Jamaican, used to work in Jamaica and therefore contributed and have at least 1 year's contributions, that you have 1 year gone already. When you start contributing again, we need you to contribute for at least another year. And then after that 1 year, you become eligible. So we need that additional year from you if you used to contribute to NHT in the past for at least 1 year. If you are going to contribute to the NHT for the very first time, we need 2 years of your contributing before you become eligible to access a loan benefit. You get up to 40 years to repay the loan, or up to age 70. So if you're 30, you get 40 years, because 40 years later you are age 70. So I'm finishing my presentation because I was asked to do it very, very speedily, but I have a disclaimer. There is a whole heap more to know about National Housing Trust. Have questions, queries, need assistance about National Housing Trust matters, email me, email Kamisha, call me, WhatsApp me, call Kamisha, and we will be happy to assist you. Let me share with you some other general contact information, which will be my last slide. So NHD's email address, wecare@nhd.gov.jm. We have a team ready to assist you with whatever query you have. We are on live chat via the NHD website, so you're welcome to also utilize that facility. You can mail us if you so desire by post, and please do call us if you do want to continue with our conversation. Don't hesitate, call my phone, WhatsApp me, call Kanisha. Thank you very much. We appreciated sharing with you.
Thank you for that really upbeat presentation, Natalie. It's really nice to hear you and see you. Remember, you're a sweet talker, and I remember how you sweet talk me. All right, so we have a lot of questions for you. So let me start with the latest one. What happens when you reach age 70? Let's say you're 65 and you ask for a loan. What happens when you reach 70?
We expect the loan to be closed at age 70.
So somebody at 65, I'm 65 years old, then whatever loan we take out, it must be a 5-year loan. So everything have to be done, pay off by then.
That's right.
What are wicked people in the man? Jesus and peace. I'm kidding.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that, Leo. But can I tell you too? I have a comeback for you, because if you're going to buy into an NHD scheme, there is something that we have called intergenerational mortgage. And the intergenerational mortgage, say somebody is 65, they have 5 years, and they have bought into an NHD scheme. You see that list of schemes that I showed you about Rothven and Industry Cove, and so on, and somebody at 65 gets through with one of those when she or he applies, 5 years left before age 70, that person can qualify for an intergenerational loan, which will allow even up to a 60-year mortgage. But that individual will have to select a successor, basically, who is much younger than him or her.
No, you're
right. You see, we have something. But somebody like you, Leo, you can get your 5-year loan from NHD and pay it off in 5 years at 65.
Did I just give away my age? No, I'm not so old yet. Stop it, Jesus.
No, you don't look that way. I'm just saying, what if?
I'm kidding, man. Just thank you so much for that. Let me have some more questions for you. Someone said, you said there are 2 ways to contribute. She only heard the second way. That's if you're in a country and you're not legal, you're not a citizen, you're not a resident. What's that way that if you're a citizen and you're a resident, how do you contribute?
If you're a citizen, then you would contribute directly to the NHD. So I mentioned some documents, right? So the voluntary contributors application form, there's an indemnity form, and there is a customer information file form, just some information that we need to collect from you so that we can register you to contribute directly to NHD. You send those to me, some proof documents, you can email them to start, and we can register you right there at the NHD. When we do register you, we create an account number for you, we send you some details, and you can make your payments using NHD mobile app or NHD online.
Okay, excellent. Let me see. I have we have another presentation because it's very important presentation. So stay with us here. I may have another question. So I can how do I obtain an update no birth certificate? That's for I'll come back to that. How do I know if I have any NHD benefits if you live outside of Jamaica roughly for 20 years? How do I know if you have worked in Jamaica and you work for an employer, then you would have it's all automatic that you think that there's that employer would pay into it for you because it comes out of your salary, right?
So what I've asked Elaine to do, because while I was preparing myself, I saw that question. I'm happy for the question. So I asked Elaine to just email me because
Okay.
I have some assumptions that maybe she's asking if there were contributions there for her.
Right.
And if there are contributions there for her, I'll happily check. Just email me her NIX number. We can check that tomorrow and let her know what her contribution status is.
All right,
And
good,
if
good.
she wants to be refunded her contributions, we can guide her on that. If she wants to start contributing again, we can guide her on that as well.
Excellent, excellent. I have an NHT number from the time I worked with Air Jamaica and National Commercial Bank. How do I reinstate my account? I would like to send my document to PDF and not by mail because I don't want my documents lost in the mail.
Okay, the documents that she could, I assume it's a female?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So the documents, the person can really copy the documents. So we do not require that the original documents are sent by post, but the person can PDF them, put them in an email, send them to me, Natalie Fowler at nhd.gov.jm, and she can copy Kamisha. The two of us will collect her information and send them so that she can be registered. So those same documents that I mentioned, plus her proof documents like the residency document or the citizenship documents, WhatsApp me and I can always remind her of those documents and we take it from there.
Excellent, excellent. I started paying when NHC started, left Jamaica 1985. When I tried to apply for a refund, I was told what I have is not enough. I should try to get more, something like that. It says,
I'd love to get to know that person's story a little bit more, because if it's $2, NHD will refund it to you.
So go ahead and give your email address. Give your email address again for me now.
It's Natalie Fowler, NATALIE FOWLER at nhd.gov.jm. The phone number is 807-3140.
Okay.
That's 876-807-3140. Message me on that one, because if it's 50 Jamaican dollars, NHD will send it back to you. So something is amiss with
okay, great.
Plus interest. That's right.
Have an NHT number from the time I work. Oh, I read that already. I guess it's double up. All right. I think that's it. What documents are required to access your contribution if migrated over 25 years and need to be refunded? I think you listed those out already, right?
The documents required. It depends, you know, if the person is at retirement age, then there are some additional documents, but the person can visit NHD's website and there is an app there. The person can apply, or even on NHD's mobile app, make the application, and the based on what the person puts in the application form, she will be instructed as to if there are other documents required. If no other document is required other than what the person submitted in the application form, then the refund application will be processed. So
all right,
I encourage the person.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was really great information. I mean, we've done really great so far. We have one more presentation. It's through the organizers of this event this evening. It's the Diaspora Integrated Service, and we have Mr. Percival Herdit here with us. Mr. Herdit, please, the floor is yours. After that, we'll take more questions for anyone who's out there, and they will come back and answer your question. So please don't feel inhibited here. Please go ahead and ask questions anyway. Go ahead, Mr. Herdit.
Thank you very much, Leo. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, man, quite clearly.
All right, so let me try to share my screen.
Yeah, man.
Sure. All right, I hope you're seeing it in the PowerPoint view now.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Great, great. All right, so thanks again for having us. Just to get straight into it, because you know we want to be as brief or efficient as possible. So in a nutshell, Integrated Diaspora Services is a very young company. We started about a year ago, officially, and I'm co-founder along with Nadia Teep, our CEO. And integrated diaspora services was created to serve persons in the diaspora. Now, we all know the importance or significance of the diaspora. And the remittance numbers for Jamaica show that, the contribution to the gross domestic product is huge, for the diaspora. And we view the diaspora, though, as much more important than remittances, and we believe that engagement is extremely important. This kind of seminar, bringing information to the persons who live abroad, is crucial to national development, to the 2030 strategy, as Leo would tell you. And we believe that there's a lot more that can be garnered by going out, passing out the information, getting the human capital side more involved. There's a lot of we have ideas, we have resources beyond just remittance out there. And the idea behind IDS is to help persons to execute transactions in Jamaica, those who are not able to come home physically. We would have seen the presentation before. Our colleagues from the National Housing Trust, the PICA, and the RGD, and there are other organizations out there who provide very valuable services. And our goal is to try to get these services out to persons in a kind of one-stop shop. So our mantra is bringing the heart home through transactions, helping persons to execute, for those who want to come, to Jamaica, but because of COVID restrictions, you just don't have the time because you have to work, and you need somebody on the ground, integrated diaspora services, we're here for you. So just in terms of providing a summary of our company, again, we aim to help individuals, persons and companies overseas to conduct business in Jamaica, and especially when it's difficult or impractical to get back on island. All right, we try to connect the diaspora through providing what we call care services, CARE. And just to give you a synopsis of the services, I hope this is legible, but the C in our care stands for compassion and wellness, and that includes services that relate to purchases of medication, elderly care services, in some instances, death care services. Well, our A is representing what we call approval and legal services. And we have seen earlier government transactions. We also assist with persons who want to execute legal transactions, registrations, permits, renewals. And we're talking about licenses, we're talking about different kind of business permits, different kind of personal permits, and so on. Our R, resources, training and education. IDS, we partner with a company that has connection with over 150 universities over the world. That's one particular partnership. And we provide educational opportunities for persons who live in Jamaica and in the diaspora. Persons who want to study in the US, in Canada, in Europe, in the Middle East. So currently, we're running a program for persons who want to work and study in Dubai. We're connecting with persons in Africa, in Asia, and trying to get persons in the university of choice. Jamaica is the spring capital of the world. There's a very high demand for persons. Once you have a little Jamaica in you, a very high demand. So universities would contact IDS, our partner, OneSAS, and we try to create those opportunities. And we have persons who want to work and study, or persons who are, you have them very bright Jamaicans who can get scholarships and funding and grants. So also help to partner with our organizations to provide opportunities for these persons. So that is the R. The E is economics, and IDS partners with a number of agencies, companies who provide shipping services. We do marketing and branding. We do property-related services, community support services. Currently, one of our key partners would be the Country Style Community Network Tourism and Business as a Service. Yeah? And essentially, Country Style is looking to boost community tourism in Jamaica, and we believe that the community tourism model is a very important model, and a number of persons in the diaspora are very excited to experience Jamaica in that regard. A number of friends of Jamaica are looking to come to Jamaica and to be able to get the real cooking, the real Jamaican liberty. Jamaica is a big brand, and certainly we are involved in trying to sell Jamaican. We're also partnering with persons or companies who are providing applications almost like travel tours and so on, to what is called Travel Jammy, you know, something that we're looking to launch with our partners out in Grenada and in Canada. So there are a number of partnerships that integrated diaspora services would be, you know, merging, joining, engaging in to serve persons abroad. The basics of our model is that we connect with individual, what we call independent suppliers who pretty much operate in Jamaica, and we connect them with persons in the diaspora. And these companies are providing the services, and we are the middle people. You know, we try to bridge that divide. Sometimes one would have trust is a big problem. You know, so we try to build that relationship with persons in the diaspora. We're easy to contact, we're easy to find, and I posted some contact information in the chat. But essentially, we're providing these care services to who we call independent suppliers, and we're providing these services directly to persons who live in the diaspora. So persons can use PayPal and pay for these services, bank-to-bank transfers. Persons, we're currently signing on to a local payment service that would make it very easy for persons to use credit card, debit card, or other transfer forms to pay, you know, and persons would get up-to-date information on transaction processing. But very easy, and we regard ourselves to be a one-stop shop, you know, and we try to make it easy for persons to get that information to update the TRN, you know, where you want to do your passport, you know, Dr. Winter would have outlined, you know, the different steps and the different types of channels. We are here also to be that bridge. If there are any missing links, we also work closely with the NHC, with the RGD, for persons who want to do the TRN and other tax type services or registration, we do that. On-site inspection for persons who want to do Airbnb. You know, a number of persons abroad are looking to go to the Airbnb channel, you know, to invest in real estate, you know. And we partner with suppliers who help to facilitate the picture taking, the maintenance, you know, I mean, the full 360. Also, we would have been partnering with companies who would have been pushing out developments. Recently, the case of Hegel, I'll have a number of other things coming up. So definitely, we're a one-stop shop. We can be contacted via all social media channels. Our website is www.integrateddiasporaservices.com. Our phone number is on screen. We have a US number, a Jamaican number. I mean, you can get us on Twitter, and Instagram, and Facebook. I mean, all the major social media channels. So our mantra again is bringing the heart home, and we're here to serve. And definitely, it's a pleasure to be a part of this movement.
Oh, wow. I'm getting some good responses here that this is a great service. So you are the connector. You are the person who connects the diaspora to Jamaica. If someone is uncertain of a particular step, they can call you and you can get it done for them, whatever it is. If there's a missing link, there's a gap somewhere, you can fill it.
Yeah, man. If you have a little half idea, if you're never sure where you want, you know, once something come in your mind, you can just call us, contact us, and we'll help you walk you through. I mean, our conversations are a very important part of the service that we provide. And it's free. You know, call us, we'll talk, yes. and we'll help you to flesh out the details. And in some instances, we'll help persons to break down what the transaction, because sometimes they want something and it's really 3 different providers, you know? So we help you to break it down and we'll connect you with the 3, and we're the middle person. We're the one-stop shop. So yes, definitely.
Great. WhatsApp, easy to note, 876-852-7716. Or that's the Jamaica number, and the USA number is 347-737-0478. Again, the WhatsApp Jamaica number is 876-852-7716. USA number is 347-737-0478. And they have a website, integrateddiasporaservices.com. You can always jump on and you can find them, IDS Care, all over Twitter and all over Facebook, all over the social media. Please go ahead and reach out to them. There are gaps. You are afraid of a lot of things about Jamaica, so you don't want to go back home sometimes, right? So here is ideas that can help you to break that bridge, to break that, to make that bridge happen, to make that, break down that wall, and they become somewhat of a broker, and I put my my hat. I really trust these persons. I've been dealing with Nordia for a while, and she speaks and she means what she says. So thank you so much, Mr. Herdit. First of all, thank you for this wonderful presentation. I'll take any questions if you have any questions for IDS. We have a couple more questions for the National Housing Trust. Kimon, if you see any questions for IDS, let me know. There's a question here. Is there any way one's Christian name can be corrected on a birth certificate? I have always known my Christian name to be spelled with an E. It's correct on my passport, but not on my new certificate, birth certificate. That's one question. Number two question is, how may I obtain an eligibility letter from the NHT? That's cute. We have all the numbers. We have nht.gov.jm. That's the website. nht.gov.jm. That's the website. And so I'm thinking that Natalie going to come back in and answer the question for us. Natalie? Natalie. Natalie? Desmond, I had one question for you. Let me see if I can pull it up real quickly. Let's see. Start RGD on the RGD website, the upper right-hand corner. What documents required to access your contribution? We got that already. NHT. We still haven't heard Natalie. She hasn't come back yet.
There's one question around how may I obtain the NHT eligibility letter?
Yes, I just asked that one a while ago. Benefits. There's one for RGD. I just can't find it that I didn't read. I'm so sorry.
I thought I heard the question. The person wanted to find out how they would be able to fix their Christian name. Something right, about they all know that their name was spelled with.
Okay, go ahead and answer that. Go ahead and answer that real quickly. Yes.
That would be a correction of error. And as long as you have the evidence, your school record says that, you have other things that shows it. I mean, your insurance policy, whatever evidence you have, it can be done. And one of the other great thing is that a correction of error can now be applied for online. So you would go to the RGD website and download the, you complete the form online. Whichever section you need to have the notary public sign, you would download that, get it signed, and you upload it. The evidence that you have, you would upload it, and it can be done. There was a time when these applications, you'd have to send it in with somebody. Now you can, I guess with COVID, all sorts of things are made easily now. Electronically, you do it. You don't have to go through anybody, and it's paid for online, it's done in the office, and the certificates are sent to you. But as long as there's evidence that shows the use of the name with the E, you present those evidence, you upload those evidence, and we will take care of it.
All right. I think we exhausted the questions. And I want to thank everyone for being here this evening. It's been a really informative session. It's well worth it, and it's been a long time coming. Here's a question. Hold on one second. I think there's a question here. Good night, everyone. This is a great initiative. We really need it to happen again. I really think that we're all knowing tonight. Yeah, we know more tonight. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. And that says it all for me. Thank you so much. It's been very informative, and it's a long time coming, and we will do it again. We have several other in the series. We'll have some other agencies in the next series coming up, our episodes coming up. So I thank you from the RGD, thank you from the NHT, and thank you from the PICA, and also thank you from the Integrated Diaspora Services. Thank you all, and we will talk again soon.
And thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Leo and team. Thank you.
Yes.
All right,
Thank
Priscilla.
you. Bye. Good night.
All right, now, bye-bye.